In the days that followed, Jessica couldn't shake the memory of the intense gaze that had locked onto her in the high-security block. She had seen countless inmates, and many had tried to catch her eye in various ways, but Alex was different. There was an aura of mystery that surrounded him, and it gnawed at her curiosity. As she continued her rounds in the prison, she found herself pondering the enigmatic man behind those bars more and more. What kind of life had he lived before ending up here? What had led him down this dark and treacherous path? These questions swirled in her mind, and she knew she had to find answers. One evening after her shift had ended, Jessica decided to do some research. She searched through the prison records looking for any information about Alex. What she found only added to the intrigue. He had a reputation for being one of the more enigmatic inmates, with a record that was both lengthy and shrouded in secrecy. His file indicated that he was serving multiple life sentences for a series of crimes that had left a trail of pain and suffering in their wake. The more she read, the more she realized just how complex and mysterious Alex's past was. It was as if he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, a world filled with darkness and regrets. Despite the seemingly insurmountable odds, Jessica felt an overwhelming desire to understand the man behind the crimes, to uncover the layers of his story that remained hidden. As the days turned into weeks, Jessica's daily rounds took her past Alex's cell more frequently. Each time, their gazes would meet, and a silent understanding passed between them. It was as if they were communicating through their eyes, a language that transcended words and spoke directly to their souls. One day, as Jessica approached, she noticed that Alex was reading a tattered book. It wasn't one of the typical prison novels that many inmates turn to for escape. It was a classic piece of literature, a stark contrast to the brutal reality of their surroundings. The book's pages were well-worn, and it was clear that Alex had spent hours with it. Curiosity got the best of her, and Jessica couldn't help but ask, "What are you reading?" Alex looked up from the book, and their eyes met once more. His gaze was intense, and there was a depth in his eyes that intrigued her. "It's Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky," he replied, his voice carrying a hint of the world-weary wisdom that came from a life lived in shadows. Jessica was taken aback by his choice of reading material. It was a novel that delved into the human psyche, exploring the moral and psychological dilemmas faced by its characters. In a place where morality seemed to have lost its meaning, the fact that Alex found solace in such a book was both surprising and telling. "You have an interesting taste in books," Jessica remarked. Alex offered a faint, almost imperceptible smile. It was a silent acknowledgement of the connection they shared, a connection that transcended the prison's confines and rules. "Books are a way to escape, even if just for a little while," he said. "They remind me that there's more to life than these walls." Jessica nodded, understanding the sentiment. She too found solace in books, and in that moment, a bridge of commonality was formed between them. They might be on opposite sides of the bars, but their love for literature was a shared sanctuary, a refuge from the harsh realities that surrounded them. As she moved away from Alex's cell, Jessica couldn't help but feel a growing bond with the enigmatic inmate. She knew she was treading on dangerous ground, and the rules of the prison were clear. Guards and inmates were not to form personal connections. But there was something about Alex that drew her in, something that went beyond the boundaries of the prison and the constraints of their roles. Jessica was in uncharted territory, and she knew that the path she was on was fraught with risks. But she couldn't deny the unspoken connection that had formed between them, a connection that had the power to change both of their lives in ways they could never have imagined.